So in this video, we're going to go through the lot functionality within ShipHero. I'm going to give you kind of an overview of what it does, and we're going to touch on some things from the client side, what you need to keep an eye for, and where you get the information that you probably need. And then also some of this, you might see that it's more just us internally. So I'm going to kind of run through both of these. So to get lots set up, at least the time recording this video, it's something that does need to be turned on by ShipHero. We usually turn on by default for all brands. So if for some reason it's not listed here under the products drop down, you don't see the word lots, then just let us know. And that is usually an indication that we need to just ask ShipHero to turn it on their end. But again, we automatically email them every time we have a new onboarding. So you should see this here from the client side. A few pieces within Lot. So once it's enabled at the level of your whole account, you actually need to enable it for specific products. And this is really easy to do. If all of your products require lots, it's obviously you can do this by bulk, so you can select all, or you can go one by one. So I'm going to show you how to do both. To start with, if we wanted to do just for one, we can click on any of these. I'm going to click on just this unit of measure test one. Again, it's just a test SKU. But you would go into the product details for a product, click on the pencil here, and go down to needs lot tracking, and you would check that box. It's very important that you do this, otherwise that product or that SKU will not show up in other places. Trust me, I've beat my head against the desk many times trying to find out why something wasn't appearing, only to realize that for that specific SKU, we did not have this box checked. So it's really important to check that for the product. So that's how you do that individually. But let's say you have a bunch of different products and you don't want to do that individually because it's just going to take forever. You can run through on the bulk edit feature and do the same thing. And here's how you do that. So I only have 18 products within this specific test account that we use, but let's say you had thousands. Then what you'll want to do is you can show different page ranges. So this is going to show 500 at a time. And then you would click this box. It only shows 18 selected because, again, I only have 18. If I had 500 selected here and we had 500 products, it would say 500. And then I select all with this box, and it would select all 500 that are displaying. And you can confirm that up here. So it'll show you how many are selected. From there, you want to click bulk edit and go down into here. So a lot of these bulk edit features are the same exact like functionality, let's say, or attributes that you would turn on the product page I just showed you, but this would be under the bulk. So it's going to apply to all of them. So we just need to scroll down here, needs lot tracking. We would click yes, and then we're going to hit process. And that would then enable lot tracking at the product level for all of the items that we just selected. I didn't click save because this is just a test video, and I already have some products in here that have this turned on. So once these two steps are done, so you've turned it on at the account level via ShipHero, and then we've also enabled lot tracking at the product level for the lots that you need. The next question is usually, okay, well, how do we inbound this with the lots? So the actual inbounding side of it, we will do at ShipLab. And when it's received, we want to make sure that there's a lot barcode on the outside of the package so that we know this is the lot, and we can scan that identifier to import that lot code. And then if there's an expiration date as well, that needs to be on there too. And what does that look like? Well, if you then go and you click on this lots button here, it's going to bring you to a report that looks like this. And this is all of the lots that you have in the system for your given account. So you can see here, you've got a lot code. So whether it's 1, 2, 3, test 2, ABC, the lot code can truly be anything you want it to be. A lot of times what brands will do, if we're doing like kitting projects, that type of thing, they will use the actual date that it is inbounded, manufactured, something like that. It makes it a little bit easier to track if you've got something that kind of is human legible as well. So you can see here, this was probably around March 14th. So you've got it right here, March 14th, and then 2025. All right, so you have a few other pieces. You've got your expiration date, the warehouse, don't worry about that, that'll be ours. And then the item, it's kind of cut off here, but the item itself will be the SKU that's associated with. This will show you how many units we have on hand for that lot. And then if there's a cost associated to that lot, which would be when you would enter that in on the PO itself, it could track that as well. And then the receive date. So when did we actually receive this? And then lastly, is this lot active or not? If you need to make a change to this, you can also click this little pencil and get more information if you need to change the lot itself or the name of it, the SKU, all that good stuff. Please know that if we have inventory on hand for this stuff, you should not be changing this because it can cause a lot of confusion, especially if the product is labeled, let's say, with a barcode that has test 2 as the lot code, and then you change that to another lot. It's going to throw things out of whack. So general rule of thumb, and this really applies to anything in ShipHero, is if we have inventory for it, do not change barcodes or lots without letting us know and working through that together. Otherwise, it creates a lot more cleanup after the fact. So this page allows you to see what you have on hand. So again, we've kind of run through all these different components here. And if you want to, ahead of time, you can create a lot. So if you know that you're going to have a certain lot code for a certain product, you can set all this up here. It's important to make sure that that lot is checked on as active. And then when we receive the product, we can just select the lot that is associated with that specific SKU. Again, it needs to be labeled on the product itself, but when we receive it into the system, then we can just select that lot code already, which is really nice. Please keep in mind that typos are a really big deal with lots. So that's why we like it to be a barcode so that we can scan it and you don't have someone having to type in manually, the lot code, because if they type a 1 here on accident and the next one is a 2 or something like that, it would then create 2 separate lots in the system, and that creates a headache for everyone. So the barcode creates a really good way of standardizing it. So we're just scanning the barcode for that lot as well as the barcode for the product itself. So this is how you set up lots in the system. And so if this is all you need out of this video, you're kind of good, right? You have an overview of the lots, how to set it up, how to enable it for products. But the other question that we get and why most people use lots is, well, what if an order goes out and we need to see what lot was associated with that specific order? And so where you can do that is under your shipped items report. So on here, you can see this is a pretty massive report, and sometimes it takes a little while to load. It's not going to show any values because, again, this is on our test account, so I don't have a lot of data in here, but I will scroll over here in a second and you'll see where that information would populate. Still loading. Well, this might be taking a little bit. I'll just explain this while it's loading. So you have all these different columns here, and one of the columns over here, I guess at this point you just have to trust me, one of the columns over here is lot code and expiration date. So if you did get a customer that said, hey, my product was faulty or whatever the reason, it tasted funny, however you are using lots for your business, you could then go back in. If you wanted to search by a lot code, you could, expiration date, start and finish, you can do that. So the shipped items report allows you to pull all of that data down to the item level that goes to specific customers. So you get the maximum granularity and traceability here, which is really, really nice. The other thing to keep in mind with lots and just in general is that the system does not allow us to store the same SKU with different lot codes in the same location in the warehouse. Meaning if we have a pallet of backstock product, we cannot have multiple lots of the same SKU that live on that pallet. And the reason that they do that is so that it makes sure that you don't mistakenly pick the wrong lot. So one of the controls in place is not letting us put the same SKU with different lots in the same location. Why does this matter to you? Well, from a storage standpoint, it does increase the footprint of your storage because you would need then 2 separate pallets for that same SKU because they are different lot codes. Similarly, if there's a pick bin, you would need 2 separate pick bins when we replenish. It's not going to let us, if we only have a certain lot code in that pick bin and we need to replenish that SKU, but we don't have any more of that same lot code and we need to use a new lot code, then the system is going to tell us, well, we need to put that new product into a new pick bin. It's still going to route pickers to the old items so that you're still going to deplete the old lot code items and that's still traced and everything. It's not like it just disappears, but what it will do is if we do need to replenish, it'll just tell us that we need to have 2 separate pick bins for that SKU. Once that first pick bin is depleted and there's no more inventory of that lot code in it, then it'll automatically route packers to the new bin with the new lot code on there. And again, all of that is tracked in here. So now that this is loaded, you can see if you need to click column visibility, down here, you've got lot code and expiration, and that's going to display on this report here. So this is kind of a general overview of lots. It should cover most things that you need. If you have specific questions about it that were not answered in this video, obviously let us know and we can help you out. But hoping this gives you a good overview of lots within ShipHero. Thanks.